So the beginning of your presentation should be you telling us who you are and basically restating your statement of intent. Tell us what your whole idea was for your project. Then you want to get into the history, and I would refer to your research template for this. So basically you want to teach us about what your project was. And I would also make sure that you include questions number 3 and 4 to give us some sort of historical context, and definitely use visuals. And then you want to get into telling us about your 2 photographers. So start off with your first photographer and then summarize their style and their contribution to the photography. And then again, your second photographer. And you can do this anyway, just make sure that you tell us both photographers and describe their style and contribution. And just refer to that research template again. Then you want to include some bullet points about each of the 2 photographs that you chose from your 2 photographers. So here's the first photograph and here's the second, and basically I just put in here the name of the photographer and the title of the picture and then also a date. So that's a good idea for you guys to include with each picture. But you want to basically again look at that research template and tell us why you chose the image, what makes it significant, maybe tell us the meaning of the image. Then you get to the behind the scenes. So you'll be summarizing how you approach the project. You can show us pictures of yourself shooting the actual project. So here's where some of that behind the scenes pictures kind of comes into play. You can have more than one slide for this, so feel free to lay this out any way you want. And then you can also put footage of yourself in there.
So are you as tired as I am this morning? All right. So, what do you think of the show last night? How do you feel?
Then you want to get into your images. You want to show us your 5 images, and again, I would title or somehow, give them some sort of significant number or title. And you want to tell us about your images, how you shot them, maybe the meaning of them, what makes it a strong image to you. So again, you're just kind of summarizing and talking about your images. Now I did this very quickly. I would expect a little bit longer for each image in your presentations. Now this is optional. You could interview other people about the work that you just showed us in your presentation. It might be interesting to hear other people's point of view about your work. So you could interview them and record the footage and then insert the footage here if you'd like, right before your self-interview. But again, it's just optional. So now comes the time for the self-interview.
Hello.
Okay, so now it's time for the self-interview. And you could do this a couple ways. You could speak directly into the camera and built into the computer if you'd like, or you could have a video camera set up. My dog's crying in the background because he's not getting any attention from me. Otis, stop. All right, so you could do it that way. You can also have somebody else asking you questions. Now, if you want to go that route, I would definitely come up with the questions ahead of time, and I can actually help you with those. But basically what you want to cover in this whole thing is you want to summarize everything that you learned through the process of doing this. So summarize your research, restate what you did and how the research kind of influenced what your project ended up being. Tell us what you learned through it, how it improved your photography. Maybe it didn't. Tell us that. Be sure to include if you liked anything, any certain thing in the project. But basically it's a summary of everything, and it's the concluding part to your documentary. So you want to kind of make sure that you're covering all those points and giving us some feedback as to how you felt about the process. So that's the end of your presentation. Make sure that you do have the end slide. You might also want to do some sort of scrolling credits. Make sure that you put yourself in there, anybody that helped, any models, anybody that took pictures, also the music that you use in the presentation, and give thanks to anybody who helped you. You can also do some sort of ending like this. And that's it.